Yo, Jenna.
Good evening. This is Jenna with Urbanvarieti, and I have the privilege today of sitting down with DJ Robbie Rob.
Yeah, what's up, baby?
How are you?
Blessed, man. We can't complain. Rest in peace to DJ Maximilian, man. Very good friend. Very good friend, man. Like a brother, almost like family, man. We lost him today.
Sorry to hear that.
Maximilian. Yeah.
You're hailing from the Bronx your entire life. I know you're residing elsewhere, but you rep the Bronx, obviously.
Bronx,
all day, every day. When did you find that you had a passion for music? Not so much as being the DJ, but just a passion for music.
In church.
Really?
Me and my cousins would go to church with my grandmother, and we would just be excited to watch the organist and the drummer, and then we would go home and we would imitate it. And then one day, my cousin Sean took me to a block party, and the block party, we was watching the DJ. He was like, "We want to do that." We asked him, "Could we do it?" And he didn't let us do it, so we went home and did it on my grandmother and my mother's Fisher player.
Fisher. Okay.
They used to fuck their records up, man.
But and how old were you when you feel like that was really?
5 or 6 years old.
That's impressive. Yeah. Okay, so the church, that's actually interesting. I'm black and white, so I say what I want, but black and white church are completely different situations. So did you go to the black church where you had to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner there? Were you there all day?
Well, my church is Baptist, so what was yours?
I'm Episcopalian.
Episcopalian, see, I don't understand. No, we after service, we probably will have dinner, though.
When did you start actually being able to DJ functionally? Yes. At
12 years old, in a group home.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to live in a group home called Grand Wyndham, and I'm actually one of their success stories. I go up there every year and I give a speech and talk to the kids, and I do giveaways. And they brought me my first pair of turntables, and then the staff there used to buy me records and stuff like that. And I was a campus DJ, so
that's kind of interesting. I was going to ask you what your first piece of DJ equipment was. So what the turntables was bought for you? Right. What was your first piece that you actually were able to buy for yourself?
Well, I would buy records. I already had the equipment, you know. So
see, I'm not DJ savvy, so I'm just looking at the turn. I'm thinking there's something else that comes with it.
Back then, we used to have to buy 12-inch records, and they were like, the singles were like $4.99, and albums was like $15.99. So when I would make money off the parties, I would make sure I catch up with the records. You know, it wasn't software, it was hardware back then. You had to go out there and buy the music. You know, it wasn't coming out as quick as it comes out today, so I had to make sure I had 2 of them shits. You know what I'm saying?
And the artists had to really have their packages together. It wasn't like they just put it together and it's out in 2 weeks. You really had to plan for it, produce it, and launch it.
Yeah, the record company marketing was different back then.
Absolutely.
Like you would get a marketing budget, distribution budget. Artists I got a stipend, which is how do you say this shit? I can forget a budget. They would get a budget. It could be $1 million, and it would eventually be recuperated later, but you know, they didn't have to worry about servicing their records. All they had to do was go out there and do the promo tour for their albums, you know. So they would go to different cities and states and perform for radio stations to get the album to sell more, you know what I mean? And us as the DJ, we would know what was coming out. If you had a relationship with the record company like Def Jam or Sony, they would service us records. So you was in a record pool, or you had to go and buy records, vinyl records physically. So you know, it was a lot more money back then. It was hardware. It wasn't soft. It
wasn't only the money. How about the amount of work and effort it took to get from A to B with your records?
These new dudes won't understand it.
No.
Because it's software. You can download everything for free. It's in the air. So, you know, grabbing records and 10, 12 crates of records and getting on airplanes, and the fees, $25 per crate, used to cost the promoters, you know. It was just different back then.
I have a question for you. All right, so you know how you have like the boxes, right? And I'll see DJs they'll have a record kind of pulled up. How do you organize your records so that in the heat of the moment you figure out like, oh, because that's got to be a lot of energy to figure out. You have alphabetized or
before the boxes. You're talking about we were carrying milk crates.
Yeah, milk crates, exactly.
They didn't create boxes for vinyl back then.
I remember I used to have to carry the milk crates. I know.
Yeah. Yes. So it was milk crates, and to organize it, well, what we would do is we would have a hip hop crate.
Okay.
With new hip hop, and we'll have an old school hip hop crate, and we'll have an R&B with new R&B, and then you'll have an old school R&B crate, and then you'll have a house crate, a reggae crate, and that's how that went.
Wow.
You know, and you would know where your stuff is at because you play with them so much. You in and out of, you know, picking records. So it's the way you organize it. Like, you know, like I want DMX here, I want Jay-Z behind this. Like,
Oh, you kind of put it in order.
It was a playlist. You put your playlist together with the vinyl in the crates.
I always felt like this. I feel like certain songs would come on, you know what I mean, and it just flowed. So obviously certain DJs would have their own lineup. Would you ever transition your lineup to accommodate what was going on with the venue? Because I feel like energy changes.
No, nowadays it's easier for DJs because they have this thing called BPM, which is beats per minute, so they can see what records are slow, what records are fast. Back in that time, you couldn't do that. You had to have the ear, what needed to be played next.
Right.
You know, nobody took time to read BPMs and all that. We would just get records and make sure we played which is right. You feel me? Make sure it made sense. Now, when I walk into a club, anywhere I'm at, I vibe out. I watch everybody and I put myself in their setting and say, damn, I want to do this. You know what I'm saying? It could look like it's boring. It look like they're going. Like it's not boring, and I'll just know what I need to do when I get in there. Once I see, you know, what's in front of me. You know, so the vibe is very important when you walk into a club.
Do you remember the first album you bought?
The album, yeah, hell yeah. The first album I bought, yeah, it was Special Ed. I got it made.
That's
yeah. It
Shout
was the first one I brought. I got it made, the single. The reverse side had me on a mission. It was crazy.
Give me your favorite retro club.
My favorite club would have to be Club Gravity. It's out in Allentown, PA.
It's still open.
It's still open.
Give me one that's closed, because there's so many different clubs that were amazing.
Oh man.
From the tunnel to Cheetahs, yeah.
Cheetah.
Yeah.
Puffy I used to DJ at Puffy's bar, Justin's.
Justin's, yeah. What was the one after block? There was one, and there's
Speed.
one. All the clubs back then were so amazing, I have to say, and it was so much fun because you had a diverse group of people, and the venue was much bigger. You can work with them a little bit differently.
Yeah, you're right.
You have some history with 50. What was it like working with him?
Oh man, I was with 50 10 years. It was amazing. I made a lot of money. I met a lot of people, built a lot of relationships. 50's a real dude, man, very well respected. A lot of people started respecting me just from being affiliated with 50 Cent.
How'd you get that gig?
Off a mixtape. I did a Jay-Z mixtape that was fire. And Nelson Tabata was working at Interscope doing JENNA promotions. And he picked it up from a store in the Bronx called B-Export. And then he called me, he was like, yo, how the fuck did you put this shit together? I gotta get you a 50 to do one. Now I met 50 years ago when I was DJing at Speed, but we didn't know each other like that. So he's like, yo, I'm setting it up, I want you to come up, we're having a party for Mobb Deep's album release at 50's house, I want y'all to do the tape there. So I said, this shit can't be real. He said, yo, you fat, come down to my office and meet me. I went to Interscope, we met him. And then that Friday, we were at 50 House. We drove up there, me and Nelson. Nelson's Money Nails. Y'all know who Money Nails is. He's a very popular person in the industry. He took us right there before the party started. 50 met us at the gate, gave us hugs, took us in, bugged out. Then we went inside his studio and we made the mixtape called The Freak Tape. Where 50 hosted the mixtape, he bugging out the bitches. It was some fly shit. So that's how that shit went with 50. Man. You know, I'm here if you need me, that type of shit, you feel me?
Okay, where's your favorite place to travel? Being that you work with 50, I'm sure you got to go to a lot of nice and exotic places.
Jamaica.
I love Jamaica too.
Oh my God, okay. I've been all over the world, man. I had the funnest times with Jamaica, man.
And you obviously were performing, you were on stage, so who were you there with? Was it 50 or was somebody else?
Well, when I went to Jamaica, I was out there with Beanie Man. I toured with him for a year and a half. Like, I toured with a lot of artists. So
name some more outside of Beanie and 50. What you got?
I DJ for Jada. I DJ for Sierra. I DJ for who else? French. I've done shows for him. Neo, Beanie Siegel, Lloyd Banks. I did a lot of people's shit.
The resume is very impressive to say the least.
Lil TJ, Mano. I've done. Yo, I'm doing an interview. Stop calling my phone. I'm doing an interview.